Oh, yes. We're live on YouTube, boys.
That was nice.
Definitely needs a fade out on that music loop.
Yeah, the fade out doesn't work. It
the
doesn't work. It
comedy.
just it goes louder and then just goes.
Yeah, dead stop.
Oh, it was
Oh,
nice.
the
The
DJ.
intro was
Put
very
a
nice.
little edit on
Other
it.
than that, the intro looked pretty slick.
Where did that come from?
Me? Haha!
Very nice.
That was one of the ones I was using.
I did the video.
Tricky did
Ah,
the
the
video.
video was cool, yeah.
Do you want to know how many
Did you do it in
windows
Fusion?
I've really got open?
No, it's literally just the camera shake effect and just lined up that image a few times and just loop. Yeah, just put it in as a loop so it would roll around.
Where am I going to start?
Could probably
That's
do
the
something a lot
question.
better if I spent more than like 2 minutes doing it. But
Yeah.
Owen,
it looked reasonable for a holding screen.
hear me out on this one, okay? When you want to vape, there's a mute button on the screen.
What's that?
As long as you're not talking when you press mute, it mutes without making a noise, so Tricky doesn't have to edit.
Owen's really loud. Like, I can hear a jet.
Yeah, there is a jet going off over the house right now.
Yeah.
I'm really loud, am I?
Yeah, maybe bring the mic a bit closer and then it'll auto adjust the levels down.
Okay.
Yeah, I've
How's
set
that?
auto adjust on the
Yeah.
levels in the audio, so.
Is that right?
Or have I? Hang on just a minute, I'll just.
That's better, Owen.
Yeah, it's okay. I've set Owen's properly.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
I've set Tricky's properly.
I think it's all good.
I've set Andy's properly.
Tricky's
to go.
really low. Tricky's low for me.
What, volume?
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to crank it up a bit, mate.
It should be pretty loud. Let me just turn it up a little bit more.
Readjust. Oh, crikey. What am I going to start? Oh, I'll tell you what I'm going to start with.
How's that? How's that? Is that better?
I've got a belter for starting with.
It'll do, Trick. Don't worry. You can edit the levels.
Are we
can't
actually
you?
live yet? Are we live?
We've been
Yeah,
live
yeah.
for
Thinking
2
even
minutes
if it
and
was-
30 seconds, as you can see from the top
See it
left-hand
in the
corner.
Very
Even if it was
nice.
quiet, it should be boosting me up a bit automatically anyway, should it?
Yeah, I can do this, and I can do this.
I've not seen any comments yet.
No, nobody.
Well,
there's people watching, but nobody's commenting.
Hello, folks.
Okay, so if you are listening live on YouTube, would you please do us a favor? Send us any questions that you've got. We're going to be doing this to like just check the technology. So feel free to send us any questions.
Yes,
Oh,
it's
here we go.
working.
There we go. Right, you ready?
Romeo.
Hoorah!
There he is.
Hey,
Yeah, that's cool.
There we go. So, everything's recording. I've literally got 2 windows open. 2. Fucking 2 windows.
It's nice, isn't it?
Hey, Steve.
Yeah. Steve Gadsby's in the house.
Hello, Steve.
Yeah.
Ron's in as well.
Okay.
We'll that tonight
Yeah, but
anyway, guys.
I've just switched off automatic adjustment. How is my level on the mic now?
Not too
Excellent.
Yeah,
Yeah,
is that good
sounds
level?
good.
Yeah, yeah.
Set the slider to about 150. So it might have actually been pushing it down for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah.
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 Anyway.
I think it's
Santa's
fixed
in the
now.
house.
Is that better? Also
You'll
for the
do.
people on the stream, can you hear me?
Hear me now.
Thomas.
Hear me now, people.
Hello,
So how can we
Thomas.
mute?
Thomas says I'm still.
No, that was sent about a minute and a half ago. Comments take about a minute and a half to turn
okay,
up.
fair enough.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you are still a bit low.
But why?
Don't know. Maybe it's the fact you're on a Mac.
No.
That's not the reason. I'm just going to turn this slider all the way up. What about now? How's that? No different?
Not really.
I mean,
not really.
seems
not
fine.
Any different.
20
Is this-
sec.
Oh, it's
Does
20
this mic
seconds out,
volume
apparently.
slider even make any difference? I
Don't worry
know.
about it. Just leave it be.
Let's just roll with it as it is.
Okay, somebody do an intro.
Do we? Okay. I'll do an intro. Fuck
Go
it.
on then.
Alright. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Hop Edition. Tonight is... what episode are we on? It's not really an official episode,
64-ish.
Because it's 63.2. We'll call it that. There wasn't a point 1. just straight to point two. Anyway, we're in the house. We're testing some new live stream software. It's looking really sharp. Hopefully, everyone that is following along live is enjoying the new format. If you are on the YouTube whilst watching along, any comments you'll see now highlighted nicely along the bottom of the screen. But for everyone that's just listening to the podcast, welcome. We're just going to be drinking a few beers and chatting stuff. Probably about beer and homebrew, but who knows? Who knows where it will go? Say good evening, everyone.
Hello.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, fellow humans.
So I'm going to start proceedings by opening this, what I've heard is probably a pretty shit beer from someone called Dudes Brews.
Oh.
It's this beer called Smells Lagery.
Who's
Mate,
that
it's
then?
wank, is that?
Yeah, I've heard
shit.
it's awful. It's only the UK National Best in Show winning beer.
That one.
Uh-oh. Both of them.
And there it goes. So I've been very much looking forward
shit.
to getting this in the glass, Tricky.
I-
Super excited.
I thought I would test it up against its nearest competitor.
Oh, he's got some Heineken in there.
Heineken. What
Wow.
the fuck?
Bold.
You can see that's got silver written on the side of it, so it must have come in second place.
You can't compare gold with silver, eh?
Oh, brilliant, Tricky.
It's nice and clear. Smelling very lagery.
It's all about the aroma on that beer.
It's got a very unique aroma, Tricky. It's got there's a very prominent lovely malt aroma on it.
Yes, the as it's sort of aged, I think the malt's presented a nice kind of honey sweetness, I thought.
It has, yeah, and it's sort of a cereal honey sweetness. Just
Yeah.
a tiny touch of corn, but in a pleasant way, not
Yeah.
in a nasty kind of corn way. And the hops play with it really nicely. It just adds a sort of strange complexity to it. Lovely aroma, mate. Beautiful looking beer. I'm diving in.
Enjoy, sir.
Yeah. That's beautiful. Which hops did you use? Sapphire?
It was all sapphire, yeah. So the recipe
think I've-
was simple but effective, I guess, because just a single hop, and the malts were just floor malted pills and a little bit of Carahel and a little bit of Carapils. That was it.
Nice.
And
Keeping it simple.
yeah, old reliable Weihenstephaner lager yeast.
I'm not
Nice.
sure I've ever
Good.
really drunk Sapphire hops. Maybe I have once in a commercial.
Yeah, they
But
pop
definitely
up
a little
quite a
bit
bit
different,
in kind of craft lagers, more so than because they're relatively new hop. So more so than your traditional kind of German beers, they're in sort of newer kind of craft lagers and stuff like that quite a bit. But they're just to me they're like a noble hop, but just with a little bit more oomph
Bub-
to it. Like
I'm getting bubblegum.
that,
Like,
really.
it's not, but see, compared to.
Rolls.
Yeah. The descriptors, if you read up on Sapphire, is there's all sorts on the descriptors when they talk about it. Most of which I don't really get, but it's just got a certain je ne sais quoi for me. I don't know.
Yeah, it has. Yeah, it's quite a unique hop aroma and flavour, which
It's almost. I'm
I haven't really
getting.
experienced before in a
Bubble,
lager.
you know that bubblegum chewing gum you get?
It's cracking. Just I'm impressed with the malt flavour in that beer. So lovely. It's a lovely Dudes Brews. Congratulations again on your
Thank you very much.
your
The malt.
Well done, mate.
complete domination of the UK National Homebrew Competition.
Oh, that's crisp.
You know, it almost gives us all credibility. Thanks, Tricky.
So the profile for that they talk for Sapphire hops. They talk about spicy woodiness of juniper, red fruits, aromas of citrus, bergamot, lemongrass, black tea, and so it sounds like they've just named everything on the off chance that you get one of those flavors in there. But the aroma wheel kind
I'm
of
getting the woodiness. I'm definitely
everything in it.
I'm
as
definitely
well.
getting that woodiness now.
That was the one thing that you called out, Tricky. That was like, yeah,
See the bubblegum's
actually,
that's gone now.
and maybe the
No
red
bubble
fruit,
gum now.
the wood
No.
and the red fruit. It's certainly
Yeah.
different. It's certainly different to any other lager I've ever tried.
Yeah, I
In
don't
so
mean
much as it's not your classic noble hops. It's not Pearl.
Yeah.
It's not Mittel Fruit. It's not SARS.
It doesn't push any of those flavors to the point of it like shoving it out of style, though, which I think is, it's quite whatever flavor you get from it is quite subtle.
Yeah, it's
'Cause if it
still in the
wasn't-
noble
Yeah.
noble
Because
territory.
if it
Isn't
wasn't, I think they'd have been like, "What the fuck have you put in this?"
Yeah.
It's beer because
Yeah.
this isn't really
Yeah.
a traditional German.
Yeah,
sort of-
I've not. You've
Do you
not
know what
gone
I
and
mean?
made a lager with Centennial or something.
Would
Yeah,
you say it's
exactly.
kind of it's like Warrior a little bit with its earthiness?
I don't know. I've not really ever used Warrior,
Okay.
so I could not say.
It's nice, yeah.
But yeah, one of the stronger flavors on it, according to the wheel thing on the website, is the kind of woody, aromatic, herbal, slightly grassy notes. But then just fairly even with a lot of other kind of fruity, floral things going on as well. So not really potent in any one area, I think,
And
which is pretty
I'm
typical
also,
of noble hops generally. Anyway, I think.
I'm also impressed at how well presented the beer is, considering you sent it to me, a couple of weeks ago now, Tricky. If you'd put that in a pet bottle, I don't think it would be anywhere near as good.
I think the
Glass bottle.
glass bottles for competition is a
Is that the way?
I think it's
I
got to be
think-
done, to be honest.
Oh,
Pet bottles are okay if the person drinks the beer within a couple of days of receiving it.
Mhm.
But I just think beer just does not store well in a pet bottle at all.
No, I agree. I mean,
so, sounds like we need a triangle test.
well, I think we've all had experience of this because the amount of beer mail that we've all shared and had from other people and that we sent out ourselves. And I mean, how often has that bottle of beer mail that you've left in the fridge in a plastic bottle for like a month plus tasted great when you've had it versus the ones that you've tried,
Very,
Bottle.
the
very,
week
Yeah.
arrived or whatever.
very rarely.
I mean, in some cases, they've been so far gone that it's been, undrinkable for bottles that I've left for a long time.
That's really interesting you say that, Chick, because Dell, he bottles in glass, and his beers do really, really well in conditioning for after
Yeah,
like
yeah.
maybe 3, 4, 5 months or something. It's like still wow. So, yeah, I think it
think
may
there's-
actually be.
I think there's a lot to be said for glass over pet. I'm coming to realise that.
Oh dear.
Yeah. I mean,
It's just so much
still the
easier.
convenience of it for beer mail and stuff. It's it's going to win out on that front for me
If
most
you
of the time
boys-
because I don't need to worry about the bottles getting smashed either. So
Yeah.
the level of like care with the packaging that you have to go to with the glass bottles has always been the main barrier for me for doing that. Plus the
Yeah.
fact that if you're sending
agree.
free, it usually 500 ml bottles, it just pushes it over that 2 kilogram limit where you can get the nice cheap sort of
That's right,
postage rate or
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, because you can get 3 plastic bottles
Yeah.
for a small parcel.
The good thing with some of the competitions though is they'll take 330 bottles, so you could do 330s or even 2 330s in glass, and then that's still not too big, bulky or heavy for postage.
Yeah.
And they're a bit easier to pack. Just go easy on the bubble wrap.
Only if you're
Yeah.
sending it to certain competitions.
Some people don't like it.
I've heard about that, yeah. Although, yeah. I would be bubble wrapping the shit out of it, to be fair.
I can't understand why pet bottles allow so much oxygen ingress. When clearly you put the lid on, there's no liquid coming out. Explain it to me, Chris.
glass isn't permeable and PET is.
Is
Yeah.
that it? It's like PET's literally just, it will allow oxygen to
But
Yeah.
you guys are using...
almost the extent of breathing.
And you're not fermenting in PET.
Yeah, but it
Yeah.
doesn't stay in PET for that long, does it?
Yeah, and it's always got positive pressure from the inside as well.
And
hasn't it?
CO2,
So,
yeah.
although you'd think that would still be the case with a
Yeah.
pressurized bottle. That. Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know.
but
It
it's
is
because
confusing.
of the thickness of it as well, I think.
Yeah.
I think it just
PET
tastes better out of
bottles are
glass.
so thin that
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I don't
yeah.
it's interesting.
Can I talk about my beer now?
Yeah, of course you
Go
could.
for it.
Yeah. Because some fucking arsehole sent me some beers.
It's going to be a high road, isn't it?
I thought
Pedro
I'd go with.
toes.
Oh,
I thought I'd go with
the.
the pear and blackberry goes first.
That was
'cause-
bold, Chris. I thought I'd go
That
with
is
lime
bold.
lager first because I wanted to
Which lager's that? Is that the lime lager?
lime lager. Yeah, that sounded.
Yeah, that's next.
That's good.
There's a bit of an echo
So, from who?
from everybody.
Don't.
I'm not getting any echo.
I'm not getting any.
I am. I'm getting echo from absolutely everybody.
That's
Okay.
weird.
That's weird.
So
Is anyone hearing that on the stream? We're just checking if any of these minor issues are going through.
I
to
wonder
you
if,
guys.
Chris, if you get two windows open.
No, just got one.
You've not got the YouTube feed.
I've
on
got
a tab
YouTube
anyway, have you?
open so I can see the feed and see how many people are on it, but I'm not actually watching the stream. I've just turned echo cancellation off and it's not there anymore. So
Yeah, you
Clearly
shouldn't
the
have,
software
you
works
shouldn't have echo cancellation on because we're all wearing headphones.
Yeah, we're all headphones. Yeah.
No, as in it was on for the entire stream.
Oh, I see.
Ah,
So
right. Okay.
regardless, it's just standard. It's how it's set up.
Where's
No,
that
it's-
on then for the entire stream?
Yeah.
Stephen Gasby said no echo on the stream. Gary
That's just
said no
me,
echo. So, all good.
Basically, the world hates me.
Okay,
Nicholas
carry
Gear
on.
is
Chris!
here as well. Hello, Nicholas.
Chris, you need to start slating my beer, mate.
Well, number one, what happened to the head?
It's a sour.
And
Give it a wee whiz.
no, to be fair, mate,
Give
I'm
it a
just
whiz,
getting
mate.
an absolute boatload of pear on the nose.
How did
really
you add
nice.
the pear?
It's all it's the cocktail stuff. Was it the
Puree.
Fruit puree, yeah. So
Okay.
it was a puree of each, whatever it is you get. Is it a litre or something, or a kilo?
Yeah.
Yeah,
about that.
so kilo of each.
What's the
But
brand
it's-
of that stuff that you're using?
Oh, it was like the silver one, the pro. I don't know.
It's
Funkin'.
the one that you use for coffee.
Funkin'.
Funkin',
Is that what it is?
Funkin'.
It's
Pumpkin
really-
Pro.
It's really peary on the nose, but not really on the flavour. On the flavour, I can't really discern much in the way of fruit, I'll be honest with you. I'm not getting much in the way of pear or much in the way of blackberry. But what I am getting
It's ticking all
Crumbles.
the boxes then.
is a nice rounded kind of fruit puree kind of thing, like a
Is that like a crumble?
I'm not getting much in the way of crumble, I'll be honest. No, I'm really glad I'm not getting pastry, to be fair. But I can't get the salt. I'm not feeling the salt at all. But it is very drinkable. It's very nice. Yeah, I can't.
What about the cinnamon? Now that I've said it,
What cinnamon?
the cinnamon.
I'm not getting any cinnamon. Cinnamon. Not getting any
Yep.
of that.
You get it in the aroma.
I get pear. And I get like indistinct hedgerow, but I don't get any cinnamon. None at all. But don't get me wrong. I don't think you need to change a damn thing about the recipe. It's really
good.
nice.
That's
I'm not
good.
getting salt, which is pleasing me greatly.
Just call it indistinct hedgerow goes, and then it will be perfect.
Or here's the weird thing: I'm not getting any sour either.
No sour.
No sour.
No salt.
Sounds an awesome beer.
No, don't get me wrong. I'd happily sit here and drink 5 or 6
Other
of
than
these.
that, you've nailed the
Lovely.
goes.
Sounds like it needs to be called Indescript Hetero Pale Ale.
Indescript fruited beer.
Yeah, fruit beer.
I think you've done such a good job with the fruit purees of adding them in that
Yes.
you've kind of cancelled out the sour.
Yeah.
You cancelled out the salt.
Yeah.
And you've kind of left me with what can only be described as
It's a nice beer.
a slightly dry fruited pilsner, and I'm fucking loving it. Andy, don't take this as in any way a criticism.
No, I'm not.
It is
I drink it.
beautiful
It's,
beer.
it's a nice beer. Yeah,
It's fucking
nice.
lovely. It's just, I was expecting, a face full of salt,
Yeah,
and I
and
didn't
like,
get it. Yeah, and it's just lovely.
yeah, it's nice.
Really
It's
nice.
good.
The colour
There you go.
is rather.
It's like kind of aye,
It is. It looks like strawberry juice.
strawberry.
It's in my lineup, Andy.
Nice.
Yeah,
It's
I've got
nice.
it on the side
It's a
here
nice
as well,
beer.
so
I'm
we can
fucking-
compare notes on that one. I think as we
I
go
might
along.
just crack it now. And
Yeah.
I'm not gonna,
got,
I'm not going
um,
to slate this in any way, shape, or form
Andy's
because I
other-
really like the beer.
Other beer that I've got left anyway, because we all did the low ABV, so that's the lime lager.
Yep.
Clarity's fantastic.
That's good.
I'm christening my Dude's
Dude's
Brews
Special
Craft
glass.
Master glass with it, which is
Can I just
Looking nice.
say that after Tricky sent that link earlier, I did email the bloke, and
Chris, look at Owen.
what
What did you do wrong, mate?
probably dirty glass.
that was a big pause, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I spoke to the dude at the place where Tricky got the glasses from, and I'd just like to say that there will be Hop Edition branded Teku glasses.
Tekus.
Oh,
yes.
day.
Because I also, that one I've got from Baron, the kind of the globe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting some of them as well. So
Globe.
I'll show
Or
you.
the sort of heart like tumbler.
They're like Belgian-y
Oh,
kind
no,
of
wait, no,
chalice
it's-
type ones.
It's dirty.
Oh,
yeah,
I
like
see. Okay.
like that.
Yeah.
So it's got a stem and then it's like a globe at the top. Really
Oh,
nice glasses. I love them.
Nice.
In fact, here we go. One of them.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I love them. I think those glasses are amazing, and I think beer tastes better out of them, to be fair. So there's going to be some of them coming. So there may well be an additional prize in the competition that we're thinking about putting on, and we're working towards as it's coming up. And it may be a Hop Edition branded glass.
Okay.
Nice.
And obviously, we'll all get one, and I'll get 6.
Winner. Because
I'll just be drinking
Right.
every single podcast out of Hop Edition branded glassware.
right. Anyway, more importantly, I want to hear Tricky's review
Yeah, I
of my
wanna
lime
talk
lager
about
beer.
your, lime lager. How did you get lime into this?
It's Motueka.
Okay, I was going to say because it tastes like lime hoppy, not like it's got any kind of additional
Yeah. So it's
lime flavouring
I'm,
to it.
I'm sure it's Saz and Motueka. So
Yeah,
it was.
I was definitely going to guess at SARS in there, not just because I know that you put it in everything anyway, but because it has definitely got that nice spicy SARS thing going on there. But yeah, no, I mean there's that like New Zealand limey hop vibe going on it, which is lovely, but it's quite subtle, so it's like a nice.
I think with
just a
age,
nice
it's become more subtle. I think.
Yeah,
it's-
was it a bit more in your
yeah.
face when it first started off?
Yeah.
But that's that's good. It's like it's just a really nice crisp. Tastes like a crisp pilsner to me with a nice little
Lime hint.
top note of lime in there. So
It literally just kicked today
it's
as well.
a very
The keg.
very nicely made beer, mate. I can't really pick any fault with that. And yeah, I'm not surprised you smashed through it, to be honest. So,
Yeah.
If I unmute myself, you might hear me. Owen's crashed, I think.
Has he?
Either
Why?
that or he was cutting his toenails.
What? I was muted. Muted, mate.
Yeah, but you were
Muted.
down there for a really long time.
Yeah, I was just trying to get the on-air thing to work. It flashed a couple of times.
All right. Okay. Promising.
Yeah, sorry, Brett, if you're online, but my dog ate the wire. Sorry, mate.
I think Andy's one's probably better, where it just says High Road Hose.
Imagine. It's like flashing.
Thomas and J-Pop, the issue is going to be sending those glasses internationally if I do send them to you. That's going to be a bit of an issue.
That might add a bit.
Yeah, it might add like 20 quid to the shipping because it's going to have to go via some sort of courier, so it's properly insured. That might prove to be a... Anyway, you crack
Find out.
on. Lager. Go on, Tricky. Do lager. Lagerish lager.
It was done. It was done.
Done.
Very
Okay.
happy.
You're
Very happy.
with it.
Well done, Andy. Good beer.
I'll be honest with you. I just want another bottle of this because this is really nice.
I can tell you that the Heineken Silver is a lot better than Heineken. A lot better.
So what is Heineken Silver anyway? What's it?
They've branded it with it that it's cold crashed to -1 degrees Celsius to
Oh.
make it super clear. But
Wow.
they talk about it being quite
That's a new and innovative way of going about making lager, isn't it? Fuck me.
No one's doing that.
But it's actually it's got a nice kind of pilsnery smell. It's got that kind of cracker bread, which is like totally devoid in any other kind of beer, and it's nice. It's almost like it's got Hersbrucker in the finish because it's got this sort of nice berry sweet, that kind of berry fruit thing you get from Hersbrucker. So it's actually decent. The story why I got this was in my work. They were giving out free cans of Heineken. The only way they can actually get rid of Heineken is actually to give it away for free, So managed to go down and grab a can at lunchtime, and then on the way out I grabbed another can, of course. So I tried it last night, and it was actually quite pleasant. I was quite surprised. So,
I'm impressed
Yeah.
you went out of your way to get a can.
well, I thought it'd be quite funny for the pod.
Nice. Comedy value.
Comedy.
Turned into actually, this is alright.
It's alright, yeah. It's not bad.
Respect
it's not-
macro
it's not-
lager.
It's not as good as Tricky's, but it's all right.
Good. I'm glad. I'm enjoying the goes. I mean, the head retention on mine is significantly significant. It's thick, foamy. That's a beautiful head.
I'm gonna have to
in
get
fact.
into the glass now as well. I want. To,
Yeah, it's good. It's 50. I think it's 50% Pilsner, 50% wheat. And it's
Yeah, I'm not getting much sour. It's like it's ever so slightly.
Yeah, it's more
Tart.
fruit. Yeah,
Get
Yeah.
that in the other dude's Bruce glass.
there you go.
Nice head on there.
Yeah,
He's ignoring us. Selective hearing. But it is beautifully fruity.
It smells a bit bit fruity sour to me.
Yeah, it's not. It's definitely fruity, right? There's like a nice little sort of bitterness that carries it through. So it's nicely balanced. Maybe just a touch too bitter, but yeah, I'm not getting much in the way of salt. But I think if you compared it up against one that you hadn't added salt to, you would notice the difference. But it's not. It's not the. I wouldn't have.
I think
said
the
on
fruit-
the palate it's salty.
yeah. The fruit tends to dominate. I would say
Yeah.
compared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much salt did you go? What did you add to the recipe?
I'll get it up and brew further. And I'll let you know.
Apparently, a good rule of thumb is 1 gram per litre.
I'm sure I watched your video on because you did a fruited goes, did you not?
I did, yeah. I think
Yeah.
I undergunned the salt simply on the basis of you can't take it out once it's in.
By the way, that's my first ever sour, so probably
Is
why
it?
it's not sour. Yeah.
Did he use
Where is
the
it?
Lallemand
14 grams on.
fully sour? Did he use fully sour?
Yeah, I used fairly sour.
Yeah.
Did you bother measuring pH at all with it or anything like that, or just
Yeah,
let it
I
roll?
don't. No, I think like you guys say, the pH isn't actually spectacularly low. I'm sure I put it in the chat at the time that I didn't get a crazy low pH. So
That's
because
interesting.
did you get? Was it not 3 points something you normally get with Philly, and I was up at 4 or something like
Yeah,
that.
I mean, to be a sour, you've really got to go sub 4, and I think the first sour I ever made, which was the passion fruit sour, which Chris particularly liked. I think that was down at 3.2. I think
That was literally the best sour beer I've ever had in my life. It was fucking phenomenal.
It was savagely sour.
So I wasn't too impressed with the Philly sour, and I would probably, next time I do a sour, would do a kettle sour instead.
I've had good results with Philly. I would say you probably do need to double pitch it,
Yeah.
as opposed
did
to
I
a
not?
single pitch.
Yeah, that's where I went wrong.
Yeah.
And I
that
think,
makes a
and I
difference.
think you probably would have done well to add the fruit sooner in active fermentation.
I think I did. To be
Did
fair,
you? That
yeah,
surprises me.
I
that it's
followed.
not.
I followed your video, Owen.
Oh, okay.
At the time, I'm pretty sure, and I think you recommended during active fermentation to add the
Sourness.
add the fruit.
Yeah, because the Philly sour yeast likes simple sugar,
Yeah,
and
the
it
glucose.
likes obviously sort of fructose is quite a simple sugar, so it normally will add quite a bit of sourness. You can even pitch the fruit at the point you put the beer into the fermenter, same time as the yeast, or
Yeah.
you can add some dextrose.
Yeah.
Or just some whatever sugar you got lying around.
It might be because I've gone straight from the lager to the goes, but I do. I don't know. I feel like I get a little bit of the salt sort of flavour there, maybe.
Yeah, the minerals type, that kind of.
Yeah, definitely a
Because
minerally kind of
it'll add a lot of chloride as well.
very subtly kind of briny note
Yeah.
in there. And yeah, I mean the fruit's lovely, but yeah,
Fruit's
it's just not
great.
sour. It's just I think if the sourness was there, it would be bob on. But
Yeah.
but it's perfectly pleasant.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
it's nice. Yeah.
nice.
Tricky.
It is very
that,
nice.
That beer
Really
is
enjoying
fucking smashable.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Utterly
I-
crushable. I
they're
think
both
the
they're both
sourness.
delicious. I'll go back to the lager now as well.
I think the sourness, if I'm honest, would make. I think it would probably make the beer better suited to really warm weather.
Yeah.
I think as it sits right now, it's perfect.
It's
for
a
this
nice
kind
winter.
of-
Yeah.
yeah, for this kind of coolish weather, I think it's really nice. I
Yeah.
think if you can make another one and like get it down to like instead about 3.2, 3.1, 3.2, I think I would be walking around in the summer with a raging hard on drinking that.
But the problem is they're not cheap beers to make, are they?
What, sours or
No.
fruited sours?
No,
Fruited
these
sours.
fruited sours.
Oh
because
no, not even fucking remotely cheap. No.
'Cause those-
they're more
those-
expensive than Nipas.
it's like the kilo bags of fruit is just wow.
Like 15 quid, aren't they?
Yeah, 15, 18 quid maybe.
Yeah, you know, all of a sudden,
and you've got two of them.
You're 45 quid into a batch of beer.
Yeah.
It ain't cheap.
No.
Although, it still works out as only just over £1 a pint.
Yeah. You know what the most expensive beer to make's Tricky's? Was it the? It's not the Pathfinder. What was the one you did recently with all the Bath Haas?
What was it called? Focal Spectrum. That
Focal
was it,
Spectrum. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
those.
I heard that's good.
That was about £10 a pint, I reckon.
It's fucking banging. Yeah. It's
Well, unless
really
you
good.
know, unless you're the Earl of Shillington, in which
And then
case
you don't pay for nothing.
you're literally getting paid. You're in like positive.
Well,
Well,
Andy,
yes.
nice.
I thought you'd like that one.
Nice.
I think I did
Is
pay
that
for
the
some of the
lime?
basement
Yeah.
in that beer at least, but yeah, not much in the way of the hops.
This is one of those
Expensive bit.
beers that's like
That's
it
like
drinks exactly how you'd think it would drink.
yeah. Like someone's put lime into like I don't know.
I don't think it's lime juice. I think it's like somebody's
Tricky
just
said
rubbed,
that.
somebody's rubbed lime around the top of the glass.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. It's the
Mm-hmm.
Mexican keep the flies out your beer job. Absolutely loving this beer, and it's so fucking crisp, mate.
Yeah, it's crispy.
It's super,
Yeah, crispy
super
boy.
crisp.
Definitely,
Yeah.
Really
definitely
nice.
achieves crispy boy status for sure.
Yeah, and you can see my ugly ass through it. Look at that.
That's Three absolute bangers, Andy. The low ABV. Hopefully,
That
you
was
listened to the
fucking beautiful.
podcast last Saturday. It was absolutely brilliant. I loved that.
Yes. I was drinking that today. It's
Super.
nice.
It was
How
absolutely
much is left,
super.
Andy?
Oh, I think I don't know actually. No, I think it's okay. It's probably maybe half a keg. Still.
They fucking disappear fast.
I've got a lot of beer though.
I think the lime lager is my favourite, but it was very close between all
Yeah.
of those, to be honest.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
yeah,
low
my-
ABV
my-
was beautiful.
Kolsch keg kicked yesterday.
Ah.
That didn't last very long.
Kolsch's just get battered. I don't
They
care what
do.
anyone says. If you make a Kolsch, you're making a beer that you've got to age, because when you drink it, it's going to last a week and a half. It's just going to disappear. They're a superb pint.
Yeah, it's the first time I've made a decent Kolsch. Probably the first time I've really made a Kolsch. And, it's absolutely brilliant. I loved it.
What yeast did you use?
The Lallemand Colne
Yeah,
yeast. Yeah,
that's a decent one, that.
it was very, very nice. So
Yes,
that-
J-Fuck, it's pronounced Kolsch in the UK. Kolsch. Right, just to wind you
Don't
up.
you mean Kölsch?
Kolsch.
I
Kolsch.
can hear him now. Just go wanker.
Yeah.
No, we call it Bellend. Fucking Bellend, mate. Fucking Bellend, did it?
Cool. Yeah. So I can't wait to rebrew that.
We need
Oh,
to
okay.
get Joe
Yeah.
Fuck on the podcast, just so we can call
do.
her the Bellend live on air.
That'd be great.
What's the update?
Update on my latest brew, which I did on the live brew day. A few weeks ago, I made the Burning Sky Saison
Oh,
recipe
nice.
from Ewan Ferguson Craft Beer Brewery.
okay.
I've just tried a bit for the first time because I'm cold crushing it, and no bueno.
Oh.
No bueno.
It's because you made this saison, mate.
Well, you
What's
know
up with
what? I'm just
I hate saisons.
It's just like, well, start off, I think it's way too bitter, and I'm questioning this recipe if I'm totally honest. It's quite
I must
a lot of
admit,
hops
the
in
the recipes in that book are a bit dubious because it doesn't give
Owen.
you certain. Is that the one where it doesn't have IBUs in it or something like that?
it. Doesn't
Or-
stay IBUs.
Yeah.
Okay, if it's too bitter, pull a pint and then add salt a pinch at a time,
Yeah,
and
But
just
then
get it
it's-
to the point where you're happy.
it's good advice, Chris, but I'm not sure that's
want
the
it.
end of the story.
Oh, you should. Like the rest of the beer is just wank, is it?
Well,
then-
it's not awful. I think maybe there's some fermentation issues in there. I used that Omega yeast.
It's called
and-
saison yeast.
Yeah. And it's like it's not soured at all. So I added some lactobacillus
shit, the bear.
day 2 fermentation. But I think there's too many hops in it for the
Yeah.
lacto to even consider doing anything.
Yep.
So it's not even sour. It's too bitter. It's not really got that much character to it. I might keg it and just keep it around and see what the Brett does with it.
Yeah.
But it's certainly not
That's-
anywhere near a Burning Sky Saison.
I've got a similar recent like your cell phone where I've just kegged. So I did a split batch of another dry hop pilsner, same what you guys were drinking there with the Motueka, but swapping the Motueka, and one I did with Simcoe,
Yeah.
and the other one I did with Galaxy and Nelson Savan. Right
Yeah. Yeah.
now we know which one's probably the good one.
Nelson.
Yes, right. And the Simcoe one, right? It's almost kind of like you smell it, and it's almost like orange citrus, but there's just not much going on in the actual body. So I don't know if time and carbonation's going to make it a lot better and crisper, or if it's just you're expecting some sort of juice bomb, from the Simcoe, but then it's just not. It's just a kind of slightly fruity sort of flat lager thing that's a bit blah. So we'll see with time.
Mate, I think that's the thing with homebrewing, right? Is when you go experiment, you're not going to knock it out of the park every single
Yeah,
time,
exactly. Peaks and troughs, man.
But then the other
That's it.
half, Owen, with the blimmin' Nelson and Galaxies, just like, it's night and day. It's like, oh, fucking hell, that's amazing.
Well, at least you
And-
know, like the base beer is like solid in that case, don't
Yeah,
you? So it's
yeah.
just okay. Well, maybe you know,
It's like
Simcoe
Simcoe's-
as a lager dry hop is not the
It's
one.
just not
kind
the
of
one.
thing.
I think you have to remember that sometimes when you push back the foreskin of science, occasionally you do find a bit of cheese.
Bingo.
saying.
Very satisfying.
Yeah.
I think if I was to remake this saison, I think what I'd do.
Change the
Use a
yeast.
different
I
recipe.
think the grist. I think the grist is good. I'd probably change the yeast. But I think what
USO5.
I'd do is I'd co-pitch a saison yeast with a Philly sour.
Ooh.
Oh, and you're not gonna go. I feel like you're gonna go full Brett on us and start going wild.
Yeah, I might have to get a.
I think
might have to get a
that's.
Foda.
He's going to get a cool ship, isn't he?
I can see
Yeah.
you doing that.
I'm gonna be building a 40-litre cool ship.
Yeah.
Is that
Out of
cool
stainless
shit?
steel.
Well, this
Cool-
this
cool
fucking
ship,
beer.
yeah.
Cool shit.
Cool.
I'm not pandering to our Scandinavian counterparts this evening. No, it's a cool ship, and it's pronounced Kolsch. And honestly, I don't care if J Fork's currently trembling and twitching. I'm not bothered.
That's the spirit.
I don't care.
That's
I love him to bits, but I'm just not having it. Oh, brilliant! So IFTTT has just announced that we're live.
oh, it's,
Good.
it's on the
Thanks,
ball.
IFTT.
On the
You
ball
suck.
as usual.
Yeah.
Why? How
I
do we
don't know.
fix that? I don't know.
We use something other than IFTT.
Yeah.
Mainly, we use our social media manager to post the links out.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Ah well, IFTT's done it now.
It's only a commit.
I love when it does it at midnight
Yeah,
after
brilliant.
the pod. Yeah. It's like we are now live at midnight. No, we're not.
We are now in bed. Yeah.
Yeah. The pod's just finished.
Super.
So
No,
are those
this-
lagers in the FE now, Andy, or are they already?
They're in
kegged?
keg, so
They're
they
already
get kegged about, I don't know, 4 days ago or so. Yeah,
Okay.
4 or 5 days
Yeah.
ago.
I've got a couple of lagers in the FEs at the moment myself as well. One of which I can't discuss too much because it's a hop tester beer, but it's a lager variant of the hop tester recipe.
Ooh.
Oh,
Excellent.
finally, Tricky
Um,
Seat Sense.
Oh, I
So
need to get that beer.
It's yeah. Obviously there's a few
Is
hops
it-
around which are more lager orientated, so I thought that I'd do a revised version of that recipe.
And Andy's going to go and get the hop tester.
I'm gonna,
Clearly,
yeah.
He's
I've
not,
not-
listened to any of our feedback.
I haven't.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
fuck
can
off.
fill out the form
So,
as well.
no,
if
but
you want.
I kind of wanted to not actually. I didn't want to listen to the hop tester deliberately so that I could actually do it myself.
Yeah.
Well, while you go and get the hop tester, Andy, I'm going to do something that Owen forgot to do. I'd like to take this opportunity,
Oh,
which Trick is
sorry.
going to edit to the start of the podcast. I'd like to take this opportunity to say thank you to our sponsor, Brewkeg Tap.
Whoops.
Johnny has some amazing stuff in stock right now, including the new version 3 of the Firmzilla 27 litre with the collection vessel with all the tri-clamps and everything. He's got hot bongs in, which if you've got like a Firmzilla or you've got like even an all-rounder, you can use a hot bong on it. He's also got the Gen 4 version of the Brewzilla, and coming soon there's some really, really cool stuff, which is basically, I can't really talk about it too much, but there's some super cool stuff coming soon, which will be amazing when it arrives. Trust me, have a little faith. There's also the fact
Chris,
that
see
just
the
hang
thing
on.
you're. Okay.
Hang on. So you can get a hold of, for the version 4 Brewzilla right now, you can get a thermoprobe which goes into the center of your mash, connects up to the actual software, and allows you to control everything through your phone, which I think you can do with the version 4 anyway. But these are the kind of things that Johnny has in stock. He is getting all the latest and greatest from Kegland. So if you want anything Kegland related, go and see him at Brewkeg Tap, speak to Johnny, tell him the Hop Edition sent you, and he will sort you out. I also, before anyone else jumps in, want to say a big thanks to all of our Patreons, because we have so many cool people that are helping us, and you guys have helped us to get on StreamYard. which makes everything so much easier.
Yeah, wow.
It makes your video quality on YouTube so much better. Tricky's gonna check out the audio after the podcast, but I've got a feeling that the audio is going to be shit hot as well.
Hopefully the
It's
audio
all-
will be good.
Well, it's all saved as WAV files, mate, so it's completely
Yeah.
uncompressed.
Well, I've got the YouTube like up on the other screen, and it's basically exactly the same quality as what I'm
Yeah.
looking at on the
And-
actual
and
software itself.
One of the
which is
other
great,
things that we
both-
can
on
do
both of
using
them.
this. Sorry, Tricky. One of the other things
No,
that
go
we
on.
can do using this is we can do this and put up funky videos.
Way.
So when you guys are waiting, you can see the funky videos, and we can play music over the top of everything with absolutely no problems at all. It just makes everything so much easier. And for those of you who knew just how many windows I had open whilst we were streaming before with OBS and Audacity and having to have video open and all the other stuff, it was around about, it was between 7 to 9 windows depending on what we're doing, and my computer was getting battered. At certain points I was having to turn the fans down on my PC because they were kicking in, it was doing so much work. I have 2 windows open at the minute, and one of them is completely unrelated to the podcast streaming.
Yeah.
So my PC thanks you.
Does it start with P and end in hub?
Yes, it does start with porn and end in hub. That's exactly right.
That makes
So
me feel a
with this
little
new
bit weird.
software, you should see a little bit less of Chris with his tongue like half out. What's going on? And
Absolutely.
vein throbbing in the side of his head. While
Yeah,
he's
it
trying
was
to work
this
out
one
what's
just
happening.
here. It used to pump really hard. Literally, I
Also-
just press a button and we're done.
It's also so much easier for our guests when they
Yes.
come
Yeah,
and hang out with us.
Yeah, that's what I was wanting to say on as well. Yeah, the guest
Just one
side of
click.
things.
One click.
Yeah,
edit
it's
a
going to
few
be.
details.
You don't have to send them this entire, 20-page document on how
Yeah,
to
download
actually.
this, make sure
Yeah.
you've got that. Test
Yeah,
They
Yeah,
can see
so-
all the comments as well as integrated
Yeah.
all in the
That's
screen and all
exciting.
of that stuff as well. So it's just going to make it so much more fluid, I think.
and I have to say, Tricky, the quality of your video in particular. I mean, Owen's has always been good. Mine's always been good. Andy's has always been interesting casting couch type. But yours, since we switched to StreamYard, has actually got better. So your video quality is definitely better.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've recently started using the iPhone as the webcam, which did make a big difference, but then I think that was still a bit limited by the actual streaming itself. And then obviously we've got the Ethernet plugged in today as well, which is helping. So
Yeah, that's making a massive difference.
because I did
now
notice
you-
actually on the previous stream that my video quality was still absolute shite despite using the better camera. So yeah, between that and the Ethernet and StreamYard, now everyone can see exactly how many grey hairs I've got in my beard, which is marvellous.
It's not the grey hairs that we see, Tricky. It's the shine. It's the sheen off your forehead.
Well, I can just commit to the baldness and just do that.
Can
It's-
see while I'm reviewing this beer.
That's what it is.
Tricky. See for the hop assessment. Does 1 mean nothing and 10 means yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Andy's utilising this time where I'm talking
Yeah.
bollocks, really.
I could do the opposite.
He's just
How's
got an
that?
Alice band.
Owen's
now.
got on.
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah, and I've still got no hair and no clue, as it says. So,
got that.
yeah, it's Player One Brewing Company's actually agreed with us about the shiny forehead that you've got, Tricky.
Yeah,
You
I
need
mean,
to get Ginny in to do your makeup before you come on
always
live.
got the light right above me, so it's just dazzling the audience.
Yeah, I mean,
Need
I
to,
would put sunglasses on, but they're in the car.
Need to get a bit of powder on or something.
Powder my
Right.
powder my head.
Gents,
Ginny.
we've all been sat here and we've all been drinking like homebrewed beer. So, who's gonna crack? Do we have to take a commercial break on a commercial episode?
No, I'm not drinking any commercial tonight.
I'm
Sorry.
out of homebrew.
I'm
I
literally
was
just
kind of
drinking
approaching
homebrew
it as
tonight.
a.
It's a
No,
beer
I say
mail
that,
website.
I have got a commercial beer here.
Hold on.
I better see what else.
Why does Hop Assessment Part 2 have the same questions?
Because
Oh,
one's
sorry,
for
I should have
aroma
explained
and
that.
one's
It's
for flavour, you
aroma
bell
and
end.
flavour.
Oh.
First one's aroma. You might need to go back and revise. your
Oh.
answers.
God, can't get the staff.
Hang on. While you guys drink your homebrew, I'm gonna bust open. Yeah, I'm gonna. Oh, I don't know. That's 6.2. I probably won't do that.
Oh, that's too big for you.
Yeah, I've got things I need to do after I'm on here. I've got like stuff to sort out. Do you know what? I think we'll go with that. Yep. We'll
I
give
feel
that
like
a go.
I've tasted this hop before, Tricky. Or this type of
You
flavour.
probably have tasted
You may
that
well
hop
have.
before, Andy.
I'd be surprised if you haven't, Andy.
Is it Simcoe?
No, but I can see why you've gone for that.
Gents, check that out. Steve Gadsby said that he likes the
yes.
fact that Andy's background light matches the colour of his name tag.
That's it. Planned it.
Yeah.
Hang on. Player One Brewing Company said commercial graphic needed now with this fancy new streaming service. That is a commercial quality graphic, mate. That was done by a full-on, bona fide, qualified graphic designer.
Time out. He means like when we're on a commercial pod versus a normal podcast.
Yeah, I need a commercial
right.
graphic. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna say
That's a good point. We
How's
need a
that
little
one look?
video. We need a
Nah.
little video. No, it means
No,
like a
video.
video. Go to commercial break or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Oh,
can-
because
We've got the pre-recorded commercial break thing, so we can do that on a video and then just play that.
Make it happen, Tricky.
It will be done. Make it so.
Player One Brewing Company. I don't know your name, but you're pretty cool because that's gonna happen now. That's actually gonna happen. Back in my box.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
You tell him.
Have you heard this? Look at her. She's got a fucking garter on tonight, hasn't she? Jesus.
Right, that's my response, son.
Oh, I quite like the full screen. You go full screen, that's proper fancy.
So what do you think then, Andy? Well, apart from thinking it's a bit Simcoe-y.
It's very citrus dominated. There's a slight. I don't know if it's
That's
like.
interesting. These guys said it had no citrus in it. So...
You joking?
No.
I got virtually none.
No citrus. It's almost like a pure peachy.
They did say peach and apricot though, so I guess there's some
Andy,
agreement
I know
there.
you're from Scotland, mate, but peach is not a citrus fruit.
Just in case anyone's wondering what's
No,
going
I know,
on here,
but
Andy's
I'm getting-
trying the hop tester beer that these guys
I'm getting
tried on the
pithy.
previous episode.
I get absolute pithiness, right, on my nose. It's almost like tangerine orange pithiness on the nose.
That's because you're Scottish.
Pineapple-y sort of. So the tropical fruit sort of, yeah. Oh,
So,
what hop?
any guesses apart from Simcoe?
No, it's not Simcoe, but it's like Simcoe. But is it like a Zaka? No.
I think the
I can't remember what I guessed at. What did I guess at? It
I
was.
think you guys were going down a bit of a possibly like European.
I said American.
Oh, maybe
No.
Chris said it was.
Yeah.
I said
No,
it
it's-
might be one of the European hops.
I thought it was. I can't remember what I guessed.
So think more New World.
Ah, I know who Player One Brewing is. He was the guy who was
Is it
post-op.
Australian?
It is, yeah.
Yes, he was.
It's not Galaxy, is it?
No,
Yes,
No.
I
We've done
remember,
Galaxy
mate, I
before.
remember.
we did.
How
but I
many-
never did
how
the
many
video for that
guesses?
because it was
Are
just.
we
Clips.
going
I'll
like?
be like,
Yes,
I'll be
that's
clips.
it. You got it. Yeah, it's a clip.
Is it 20 questions?
Is that how we're getting the pineapple?
Well, it was. I think that piney thing. We talked about this on the previous pod, but I think the
Yeah.
piney thing was because in that
Penny
hop
things on the flavour.
because that hop tester recipe, there is a little bit in the late boil. So there's like 15-minute and 5-minute additions.
Uh-huh.
Even though it's only 10 grams, because the Eclipse is such a high alpha
Uh-huh.
hop, like all the other, Australian
Australian,
varieties
yeah.
at the moment, and it's also quite high cohumulone. I feel like it tilted it a little bit more towards that piney, pithy sort of bitterness that you're
there's
getting
loads
on
of
there.
pithiness. Yeah, the pithiness sort of.
Because the descriptors for it are all like soft tangerine, citrusy, fruit flavor and whatever. But I think just basically because of the way that it's been integrated into that recipe, that it's lent it a little bit far the other way. So
I said citrus, tangerine, pithiness.
Yeah, you did. To be fair, you picked that out straight away. So I think it's basically possibly just like a lot of the other Australian hops, where you just want to keep it all like Whirlpool and
dry hop.
Really. Because I've had it in quite a few commercial beers, and it does generally seem to be quite gentler kind of tangerine type note.
It is beautiful though as a beer.
Oh no,
it's
it still came out nice.
pale,
It was just one of
yeah.
those where I was expecting it to be a lot more
Punchier.
more punchy in terms of tangerine flavour, but just softer,
definitely
more
punchy.
rounded kind of flavour.
It's more, it's more punchy and bitterness. Like there's a nice smack of bitterness.
Yeah,
but there's
it just came across to me more like a West Coast kind of hop rather than. Do you know what I mean? Like it had that sort of old school.
Yeah,
it's
no, that like
Cascade,
Simcoe. Like I was saying
Centennial,
Simcoe.
Yeah, no, that's why it was funny that you said Simcoe. Cause,
Yeah.
It was
'Cause
a
literally-
stone fruit.
Literally, that's the same thing I'm getting from that on the aroma. I was getting that sort of citrus tangerine off the Simcoe, and I'm like,
Yeah.
well, that's kind of similar. But then you never know how it's been used through the boil or whatever. So
Oh, and I'll allow you to reply to that comment from Martin about the on-air lamp.
Yeah, I will.
And yeah, that hop tester for me,
this dog ate it.
the one thing that
missed
I
it.
got from it, Andy, and
You
I know
missed the
I know I'm gonna change your perception, but I literally got straight apricot,
Yep.
peach, just
Yep.
fucking stone fruit for days.
Yeah, I got that. Yeah,
It
but
was
then it was on the nose.
beautiful.
On the nose, it's punching. I was getting that sort of like peel. Someone's like taking a tangerine peel and put and it's just zest in your nose.
Gentlemen, Drunk Planet Craft Beers, it says he's managed to watch us live. Fuck yeah. Mate, welcome to the madness.
One of the
Welcome
babies.
to the fucking madness.
Happy days.
Outstanding. Welcome to the party, pal. Yeah. Can I just say, whilst
Total diehard.
whilst there's a bit of quiet, I'm drinking this one, which is a Forest and Man collaboration with Duration called A Shared Sky. It is a dry hopped saison at 5%, and I have to say, as dry hopped saisons go, this is fucking amazing.
Well, is that not what G did as well?
This is stunning.
I think dry hop saisons take away the saison taste, and that's what
Exactly.
makes it taste better.
I think Graham
You might be
did,
onto something there.
Yeah.
Graham did the citrus saison from
Oh.
this book, didn't he?
First saison I've actually liked.
Oh, that
This is
saison was
gorgeous.
lovely. Yeah, that was a great beer.
He did the
Yeah.
brew by numbers citrus saison,
Wow.
which I think
And-
is a citra dry hopped. No, in fact, it's not dry hopped. It's just a lot of citra and then citra and Whirlpool.
And then some more Citra. Tricky, did you contact Duration and get them on?
Yes.
Contact him again. We need Bates on the podcast again. Don't
Why?
need Miranda, just Bates.
Why?
Because it was fucking awesome talking to Bates.
All right.
But also, I want to talk about this.
Is that a duration? No.
This
No,
it's a
that's not-
duration. It's a
Oh, it
duration
is?
beer with Forest and Man. It's a collab.
Right, okay.
This is fucking special. If you have not ordered a
Is
set
that
of
a
beers
salad?
from,
Is that the salad saison or something?
it's the dry hopped saison.
dry hop saison. Yeah, no, I've had that one. It is really good.
If you're not already a convert to Duration for their beers,
Have you had that can for a while, Chris, or have they still got that in stock?
this was in my latest batch. This turned up
Oh
about a
right,
week
okay.
ago.
They must have had quite a bit of that then.
This beer should be on your shopping list.
There you
This
go.
is a very, very special beer. And I know that we bang on about our favourite breweries a lot, and Tricky rides the track cock, and I seem to be all over the Duration cock.
You are.
But
Just a bit.
He's
this
wanting
is
Bates.
fucking
He's
special.
wanting Bates back on.
Oh,
I do. I'm going to challenge him to
Bates.
I want to challenge Bates to a fucking brisket
Give me a
cooking
barbecue.
contest.
Give me a barbecue recipe.
We need it. We need it. But this is fucking spectacular. The flavour on it for a saison is really clean until you breathe out after you've drunk it. And then you just get this waft of like fruity, almost grassy kind of notes that come through on your breath when you breathe out. And on the nose, it's just like a normal saison with this, for want of a term, like a Bavarian meadow. It's beautiful. It's so nice. Oh man, we need this.
Saison.
Appreciation.
We need this. We need to get Bates back on the pod.
Wait.
Right.
I don't know.
We also need to get.
I'm not sure Andy's convinced.
We need to get
As long as he's not been canon.
Yeah.
I think we did well to get Bates. I think, Chris, you did manage to tease him out.
If you're not going to get Miranda on, you're going to have to get her to pour like 4 beers into him before he comes onto the pod or something, and make sure it's on the day off.
It's all right. Yeah. Based on the which one was it? It was oh fuck! I've moved the can. I've binned the can. The Good Times beer that they make. His attempt to clone Miller Lite. Fucking hell, that's a good beer as well.
There you go.
That's an absolute corker. Is that? I think I need to move to Norfolk.
I talked about that beer on the when we did the podcast with them, because I had that can, the Good Times, and it was. I don't think Bates had quite warmed up by that point, because it was almost like so dismissive of it. It was just like, it's just some like fucking Miller clone that we tried to make. I was like, no, it's really good. It's really good. Like, well, whatever.
I think what it was with Bates was he was tired and somebody just needed to pull the hand starter a little bit and get him started. But it was, fuck me, that beer is just, seriously, everybody who's listening to this podcast right now, go to Duration, put in an order, tell them the Hop Edition sent you, and just buy their lagers, because that is it's such, if you want a breadth of styles, a breadth of different flavours, and every one of them to be banging, right? Go to Duration and put an order in. Also, the New Zealand guy with the Scottish name who works in their dispatch centre is hilarious to talk to. Hamish, I think his name is. The dude is funny as fuck. He's so fucking funny. But he's a Kiwi with a Scottish name. I swear, it's like there's something about that brewery. It's a gestalt. That brewery is a gestalt. It's brilliant.
Oh, brilliant.
Everybody's looking at me going, Chris, what's a gestalt?
No, you just love duration, that's all it is.
Yeah,
it's fucking amazing.
We get it.
You're just creaming.
I do, I love this beer.
Burnt Mill?
Oh,
this is a brewery that we've not really talked about that much, and I think we need to start talking about them. I mean, I've always known they're pretty solid, and I've had quite a few of their beers in the past, but this... If you see this anywhere, fucking buy it. Like, seriously. I mean, Strata, I think...
What, like on their web shop, like I am right now?
Well, I got this from the local bottle shop, actually, so, I mean, hopefully they've actually still...
Paid this another week for me.
Yeah.
What is it, Tricky? Sorry, I missed it.
It's Burnt Mill, Gardens of Green, Strata, and Kohatu. So... Yeah, I think most of us know about Strata. Kohatu's a New Zealand hop that I'm probably saying that wrong, it might be Kohatu or something, I don't know. But it's one that I've actually done a beer with quite a few years ago. You don't really see it around as much. I'm not sure if anyone is selling that.
Kohatu is New Zealand Cascade, isn't it?
No. That's...
Yes.
No.
Oh, no, that's the one that begins with T, sorry, yeah.
Yeah,
Tahiki.
But anyway, either way, this is like just pure. I mean, people throw around mango as a descriptor for beers a lot, but this is just like it. I mean, it looks like pure mango juice. It tastes like pure mango juice.
Because it was
honeydew. Well, yeah, that's it. It's more like the sort of flavour that you got from Mosaic at one point, but maybe a little bit less of the dankness. It's just really bright, literally like biting into a fresh mango. There's like honeydew melon in there, just really sweet, bright, tropical fruit. It's fucking so good. This is really, really good.
You know, Burnt Mill have currently got a collaboration double stout called Imperial Measures at 4.5%,
Right.
which they've done with New Barns.
Well, that sounds good too.
Yeah, that's why it's currently on my.
I mean,
buying
this
it
is
list.
this is a 6.6% New England IPA, and you know, New England IPAs are a bit like, yeah, ubiquitous
kinda-
nowadays, aren't they? And it's
Yeah.
a bit difficult to pick them apart. But this is like one where it's actually standing out for me as a, you know, I want to go back to the shop and basically clear the shelf of them if they've got any more. It's that
Right,
good.
jeez, yeah, one of those that it would just you would kick the keg rapid.
Yeah, if I'd brewed this, I'd be like, sorry lads, no beer mail for this one.
reasonable prices as well. Like,
Yeah,
not
I'm
too
finding
outrageous.
that they're reasonable. I'm
Yeah.
literally I'm stacking the beers, mate.
What, £3 a can or?
$3.25 for their
Yeah.
pale ale.
Yeah, that is.
There's one
By
called
today's
Beyond the
standards.
Fur.
Yeah,
Which is a
today's
It weren't, I'll
Essentials,
tell you
yeah.
what, it weren't that fucking cheap in the bottle shop. Jeez, I've noticed the inflation rate taking effect in the tap
Hey.
rooms and bottle shops.
Hey,
Oh, wait,
they need
big
an
time.
wage.
Owen, there's a bright
Don't get nothing
midnight
for under
cognac
$5 a can
barrel
in
aged
that
impy
place at the
stout.
moment, unfortunately.
I did
But
just
then
see
they
that.
provide you that wide range of choice, Tricky. With
Yeah,
the
I mean,
delivery.
it's, you know, it's
Factor in delivery, and then it's like,
they host our local home brew club, so
Yeah.
I'm always going to support them and all of that
Legends.
shit. But it's just, you know, it's a shame that you can go in there and you can't get 4 beers out of 20 quid anymore, right? That's
Really, it's that bad?
that's
for
normal.
cans and stuff. Like it's actually not too. It's not it's bizarrely it's not as bad drinking on like draft in the shop as it is like buying the cans to take out now.
Yeah.
It's a bit odd, but obviously
Well,
you can buy stuff in thirds and you can. You know,
That's 10 cans from
Spread it
Burnt Mill
around a bit.
right now, and I'm at 37.75.
I might need to
Shut
jump on
up,
it.
that's
Is
mad.
that beer actually on the website?
Yeah.
Have you
Yeah.
found that?
You're
on
at
the website.
10 cans and you're at 37 quid.
Which one is it? Is it Over
How
the
did you
Horizon?
manage that?
Because
No,
that's
it's,
decent.
Gardens
Gardens
of Green,
of
Strasser, and
I'm gonna
Kohatu.
pump that up to 3 cans.
But I would be ordering some beer if it wasn't for the fact that I put a Burning Sky order in yesterday for 100
Oh, and if you buy 12 cans, you get a $5 discount.
Oh,
12 cans for 44.65.
yeah.
quid. Boom.
Oh,
I think
mate,
that
that's
Burnt Mill is the
banging.
brewery that's got the head. There's a head brewer who I think's. I think it's a
they've
lady
got
who's the head
Pilsner.
brewer who can't actually drink the beer because she's got like an allergy.
Oh,
to,
she's gluten. No,
it's like a barley
yeah.
something or other.
That came about later on, didn't it?
Yeah, I think so. But if you can brew beers like that without being able to taste them, like fuck it up, fair play, right?
Chris, obviously you didn't get the Twin Oaks mixed fermented sour in your basket.
No, I did.
17 quid.
Yeah. I've just added it now. I'm
Which
up
one,
well over
which one did you go
65.
for?
Barrel aged
I'm-
mixed ferm
I'm
sensation.
gonna have to
Yes,
jump on the
I'm
website
all
and
over
order
that.
more of this beer. It's
Says
that
on.
good. Seriously.
Sour. What one was that called, Tricky?
Strata and Kohatu Gardens of Green series. So 6%
Gardens of-
neither.
yeah.
I swear
that
to
is.
God,
$4.95
Kohatu is a New Zealand version.
It's $4.95 on the website.
The what is?
Yeah, I think I probably paid about 6 quid for it in the shop.
I've just got 3 cans for £13.35.
Yeah.
Well, hey.
I'm doing this.
There's a
Oh,
Pilsner.
This
Yeah.
is going to get expensive.
Oh, they've
I'm
got a
putting my company as the hop
barrel
edition.
aged Imperial Stout.
Everybody needs to do that. Everybody needs to put in their
Oloroso
company as the hop
Mixed
edition
Ferm
when you're
Sour.
ordering.
So Kohatu is a dual-purpose hop with fresh tropical fruit characters, which
I don't
is
give a
produced
shit
through
what this
crossing.
costs.
It's Hallertau Mittelfru, and a New Zealand male plant is where the parentage is from.
Ooh.
Sounds
That's
interesting.
fucking interesting.
Intense tropical fruit character. Yeah, definitely getting that.
So, gentlemen, 50 quid with next day delivery for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 cans.
Yeah, it's probably about right. Yeah, yeah. Do it.
Decent.
I already have done it, Andy. I ditched that bottle off because I'm not fucking about with that.
Yeah, that put it up to 60 odd quid. And then it didn't feel like value for money.
It could have a better website though. This is annoyingly slow to.
Whereabouts are Burnt Mill? Because they're East Anglia somewhere, aren't they? I believe. Suffolk. If we do end up doing a trip to Duration, Burnt Mill
Mate.
might be within range.
I'm not being funny, no it won't, because fucking Suffolk is a mile away. Suffolk is a
Well-
mile away from Norfolk.
It's
Yeah.
the next county.
It's a fucking mile away.
Well, I'm going to be going to Duration
Yeah,
anyway.
but
One's-
they
one-
might happen to be like, you know.
One's in
part of
East
my holiday
Anglia,
bag-
one's
holiday bags.
fucking way down.
No,
When I do-
they're
when
next
I do
door
the
to
Norfolk
each other, you
Broads-
tit. They're literally, you can trip across from. You can go down to like Adnams, which is in Suffolk, when you're staying in Norfolk.
Yeah.
On.
You can also who does the Wherry?
Woodfords. Yeah, they're Norfolk.
Woodfords. Yeah. So I'm gonna do Duration, and then I'll stop into Woodfords on the because you can
Yeah.
stop the boat. I'm gonna have dinner there, and get myself. Well,
There's a,
maybe get a tour and go see it.
There's a massive beer shop called World of Beers or Beers of the World or something like that. That's pretty close to Duration, I think, somewhere near Kings Lynn.
Oh yeah, Kings Lynn. Yeah.
Yeah, which you might be worth popping into. I think they're really good for like all those kind of like slightly obscure European beers and stuff.
Oh,
Especially if
yeah.
you want to go and get some classic, German pilsners and Belgian beers and all that kind of stuff.
Well,
Yeah,
my-
so that's
my
the order
plan-
put through.
My plan is to stop into Duration, like you guys suggested. I think in another pod.
I think you have to.
No, but you said, sell it to the missus that you're going for lunch in a nice rustic barn, right? That they've all done up, right? So she was all over that, and then it was like, and then I'll pick up a few cans, for the holiday.
A
Probably
cunning
about-
ploy.
About 80 quid later of cans. Yeah. Right.
And I was muted for all of that, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Fuck! So what you're going to do is you're going to walk in with a mink coat on. You're going to walk in and just go, Hop Edition in the house!
I don't
And then-
know, Mike.
That's what you're going to do. That's what
Maybe
you're going
not.
to do.
Maybe not. Maybe a half edition
Yeah.
hoodie or something like
I
that.
swear to God,
you
that's
probably
what
want to
I'm doing.
avoid coming across like a complete prick. But,
Yeah, it's like, who's this Mike?
You see, I don't have to worry about that because everybody
I'm
knows
like, you
I'm a
remember that
complete
guy?
prick.
Remember that guy, Chris?
yeah.
No, it'll be good. No, looking forward to it. We'll try and get some footage, maybe.
There we go. So that's my ordering. Don't tell the wife. I don't actually have to have any other window but this one open. £50, 60p for 12 beers from Burnt Mill is a fucking banger. I have to say. And this,
Did you
I'm
get a
still
glass
loving
though?
this.
Did you get a glass?
No, I didn't. I didn't
No
click on the
glass.
glass. I didn't. I'll phone them up on Monday.
You've probably got a few glasses coming fairly soon anyway, though, right? So,
15, yeah.
did you actually do the order for it, or?
I've emailed him about the order. He's yet to reply to me.
Yeah.
I'm going to get 5 Tekus, 5 of the Globe, and just 5 of the ones that you got, the ones that we got from Wild Child.
The Craft Master,
Whatever they're called,
Yeah.
yeah. The 440 ones, yeah.
that one.
Yeah. I was going to get some of the 70 litre
Well,
ones.
that's a full pint. That one.
That one's a full pint, is it?
Yeah, that's a full pint.
Wow.
It's got measures for the thirds and halves and 2/3 as well, which
That's
is
sweet.
cool.
Yeah.
And that
That'd
one
be
that's
awesome.
that's like pretty much a can's worth. That's a 440, which is the Allegra apparently.
The Allegra glass, yeah.
I didn't know that was what they were called, but now I do.
I've got a few of them, Trick.
Well, that's the default one now, isn't it, for brewery tap rooms? That's the ones they all like. I think this is the evolution of this glass was basically
I've got one
a
or two
million
of them.
Teku glasses got smashed because they were so easy to topple over. That they went, maybe we should take the stem off of that.
No, yeah. Or what happened was the Teku glasses kept getting nicked.
Well, that too, yeah.
Those are basically those are pisshead proof glasses.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. If I walk into a pub and they've got Teku glasses, it's leaving with
It's
me.
a low centre of gravity, isn't it? So it's easier to keep it upright. It's like my advantage when I'm drunk. I'm shorter, so I'm less likely to fall over.
Yeah, but a Teku's taller than you when you're in there, isn't it?
What, a Teku glass? Yeah, you have to climb up over the edge to...
I was going to say, you have to get a ladder and a straw. Yeah, because you're shorter than Brett.
It's on a depends on a good day, like
With heels.
with the Cubans on.
Oh, mint as fuck. So, who's got a commercial that they're drinking anyway?
Nobody.
That was the only one I had. That was the only
Just
one I
me
had.
then, right?
The Heineken.
Fucking hell.
I actually need a beer. I'm gonna have the.
We've
I'm gonna have the
literally
lime.
hit rock bottom. It's come to this with reviewing Heineken Silver on the podcast.
I'm gonna have the lime
Let's
lager.
face it, this is
Yeah, I get that.
basically a technology test of this. That's all this is.
Yeah, this was a let's go hang out and talk shite and
Yeah, man.
drink beer. I think that's how I sold it on Facebook as well.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, as long as
Just-
people aren't getting anything that they weren't expected, can't complain.
So what's the next one we're doing? Is it going to be Hazy Pales? Can we tell that?
Kind of has to be, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think that's the plan, guys. We're going to do Hazy Pales.
Yeah, I feel
So-
like I've been doing quite a bit of work in that area recently, so
That's
Some
an
stuff to
episode I
talk
don't
about.
need to be there for.
I think you just if you use a Conflux base, then you can't go wrong.
the conflux base is so close to that Pathfinder recipe as well that Adam
Is it?
went through. I mean, we're not like obviously exactly,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
just
yeah,
the
but, like,
sort of
the
general
ideas.
kind
Yeah.
of concepts that are in it and techniques for putting together the hop schedule and the malt bill and all the rest of it. It's pretty similar, I think, if you break it down.
Yeah,
Like just numbers wise and everything.
yeah. It definitely brings the haze. That's and it's that London Ale 3, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're both London Ale free, so
That is haze for days. Never dropped. I don't know. Did your Pathfinder drop?
no, the Pathfinder's been pretty stable, hazy. The focal Spectrum one has started to clear a little bit, but that's only got like about 12% oats in it, I think. Whereas
Okay.
the other ones are a little bit more. So yeah, I'll drink another beer. I've got a Big Banana beer mail. His New Zealand pills.
Oh, that's good.
Shout out to Stevie B. Don't think he's watching tonight. I've not seen him pop up in the chat, but yeah. Steve's beer mails are always pretty solid.
I've got Pathfinder tricky, so I'll check it out.
Oh, you can have a drink of that one now.
Yeah.
I know the other guys tried. I didn't really get much feedback from them, so I don't know if it was.
All right.
Was it all right? Oh, and you had it, didn't you? Before
Pathfinder.
Pathfinder.
Yeah, it was good. It was. I'm not going to lie. It was a little bit oxidized.
Was it?
Yeah,
This is it. This is the thing
it's
about
just-
the plastic bottles, right?
It's just pet bottles, man. It's hard
Yeah.
to just avoid it. You just can't.
Mine doesn't look
look
oxidized.
alright?
Yeah, it looks okay. Yeah, it looks nice and orangey.
And the thing is, I was so mindful of that when I was packaging it as well. It was like,
I'm not
blasting the CO2 into it with the old iTap or whatever, and making sure it was froth right to the top, cap on, give it a little squeeze to make sure the foam squeezes out the top before you screw it down, all of that, and then still
Yeah.
doesn't quite make it right.
Well, it just goes to prove, like, if you're CO2 purging a pet bowl to death, then you're literally zero oxygen packaging. and then it still turns up and it's oxidized
something
within a
something
week.
is happening
Something's wrong
somewhere
there, right?
in between, because it's definitely
That's the
coming out
thing.
of the tap fine. It's it's going into the bottle okay. The bottle can't have that much oxygen in it, you would
No.
think.
Yeah, no, that's the annoying part of it.
Yeah.
And I sent that Focal Spectrum beer
That's
to the malt miller
weird.
for that very reason, in glass bottles, because I was like, I can't send them this in PET and risk it turning up looking like
Yeah,
fucking dishwater.
exactly.
Do you know what I mean? So
Exactly.
yeah.
What are you thinking, Andy? Is it?
It's dank as fuck. Really dank.
Yeah, it's quite bitter as well, but I don't know if that was just the oxidation or not.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. The oxidation, it always brings the bitterness up, doesn't it, as well?
It
So
does,
that's
yeah.
kind of like. I think for me, it
It
was
does.
a little bit more bitter than what you
Yeah,
would get
it's
with a lot
oxidised.
of hazy, like pales. Like it's a little bit more bitter, but not. Yeah.
Is
not
there
to
is
the
there any
point where you
mosaic
go-
in this?
Yeah, there's mosaic in the dry hop and the Whirlpool.
Isn't it
See-
Citra Mosaic? Something else.
It's Idaho 7 Mosaic and Simcoe in the Whirlpool, and then Amarillo Mosaic in the dry hop, I think.
It's got that. Oh, it's got. See, I did an oxidized mosaic beer, and it's got that same oxidized mosaic. But is it? I always put it down to, did I just use too much mosaic, or was it actually jammy? Cardboardy mosaic. See, it looks okay.
You tell us, Rich. I mean, you've got it on tap, and I'm guessing
Is it
it's
this?
really good on tap.
Well, yeah, the video I did on it, it was just, it's kind. I think I said on the video, it is like there's definitely a pretty heavy, like, dank flavour to it. It's got a little bit of a sort of more. I think because of the Amarillo and the Simcoe that were involved, it's got a little bit more of an old school sort of American pale flavour profile. So it's a little bit more sort of piney, slightly more bitter kind of feel to it. But yeah, obviously it wasn't. There wasn't any kind of oxidized character to it at the point when I was trying it out. So yeah, I don't know. I might have to start sending beer mail in glass bottles as well. At least you
I
guys.
know. Yeah, that's the painful part of it, right? That beer just does not travel well. Let's face it.
Why is that?
But you
I mean,
wanna share it, don't
I'm
you?
not being
You wanna
like,
share it.
it's a very small sample size to use, but like the first time I've sent beers into a competition all bottled in glass,
You won it?
2 silvers and a fucking best in show. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
Like, what the hell?
and I've been struggling
Oh,
to get above, the silver bronze medal, which I'd got a few of in previous competitions.
and sometimes you get that, like, oh, it's oxidized or it's past its best or something like that, and you're like, well,
Yeah.
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 But there's got to be something in it, because you have the malt miller literally spending pretty much a whole video going, yeah, we've done multiple competitions and you can pretty much guarantee a certain number of the plastic bottled beers are going to have issues versus the glass ones,
Yeah.
which generally come out better. I think even if that's not an issue, possibly there's an element of psychology with the judging where they go, that one's in plastic, and they've got a preemptive
Yeah, there is. Yeah, I would say
view of
psychology,
the quality of it.
like labeling and all that sort of stuff, is totally in it.
And I mean, at the end of the day, a glass bottle, presentation-wise, is always going to look a bit better, isn't it, than a plastic bottle that turns up. So that might be play into it. But like we were saying earlier, we've all had the experience of drinking lots of beer mail.
So
and beers that we've
where
shared
do you
together
get the-
where there's very varying degrees of quality. I don't know what the secret is, because
How do you
You
get
know.
glass bottles on your iTap?
you need a a special clamp for it. So yeah,
Where'd you get that in a minute?
you struggle to get that because yeah.
Very hard. I looked it up. I think I think it was going to cost me something in the region of about 40 quid.
Oh, what about AliExpress?
Possible option.
Because if I can get it from China, it's no issue. Because that's where I got my iTap originally. iTap.
Well,
I'd
if
be
you
surprised
find
if they have
if
that
you
on there.
find a link, then
Send it.
ping me. Thomas just sort of said myth, thickness caps. I mean, we've probably debated this a lot, but based on our just experiments, our own experience, it seems to be leaning towards glass. It's just a much better format for storing beer than it is PET. Feel free to join in the podcast, guys.
Mate,
Sorry, I was just answering a.
I was literally
comment
looking up
there, what-
pet.
sorry, I was. I was
What did
looking
you
at
say,
other
Owen?
breweries.
Run that one by me again.
I'm looking up.
Thomas just said, myth, ? Thickness, ? Caps, ? And I said, our experience is just telling us that at the moment, glass seems to be a better format than PET. And
No,
my experience of PET is very hit and miss. I would say...
think-
I think that's how I would sum it up. Like hit and miss. Like it seems, there doesn't seem to be a definitive way to make it work in PET bottles. Whereas I've done exactly the same process with glass bottles, and like I say, it's literally a one-off comparison. But considering that some of the beers that I put into that competition, I didn't even necessarily think were gonna be doing that well. They've all placed, but
Yeah.
it's obviously not just down to the packaging, but I think it has certainly made a difference.
It's not just down to the packaging. It says.
Well, it is.
I think to be fair,
Well,
Tricky,
no,
you're
no,
right.
yeah,
It isn't.
yeah.
It genuinely.
Well, no, but what I'm
Yeah.
saying is,
Yeah,
like,
it's
obviously the
good
beer's
beer.
got to be good to get there, but you've got to get it there in the
And
condition
the-
that it comes out the can.
That was
right?
the toughest thing when we did the comp. That was the biggest thing, like actually getting the beer there in good condition was
No,
the
100%.
biggest challenge.
And we may have accidentally made that
By running it summer.
a factor of 10 harder by the time of year that we did it.
That
but-
said, though, like when we did the competition, I'm not sure I necessarily noticed a material difference between the beers that placed because they were in glass and the beers that didn't place because they were in PET. But my experience from beer mail generally is, and I know for certain that Tricky has an absolutely A1 packaging process using an iTap, counter pressure, CO2 flushing, blah 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 blah
yeah,
blah.
man. I mean, it's all like
And I know
closed transfer all the way through the
in
process.
addition to the fact that I know your process inside out pretty much because I've talked to you for best part of probably about 60 hours,
Yeah.
right? As I know for certain that you're not going to be kegging a beer that's oxidised. So where's the oxygen come from? It's
Well,
not
there's
in the, it's not in
only
the
one
fermentation,
link in
it's
the
not
chain,
the
right?
kegging,
That it's
it's
potentially happening at.
It's the packaging.
it's not in the packaging.
There
it's-
is-
Well, no,
So-
it is. It's in the packaging. Or it is the packaging
Well,
is failing.
the secondary packaging, right? It's
yeah.
gotta be that.
Yeah. Let's look at this from a purely chemistry and physics standpoint. Okay, we know
Science.
that PET is oxygen permeable. It's low. It's a low oxygen permeability rate. However, it is oxygen permeable. We know that glass isn't.
Correct.
We know that the lids that you put on the PET bottles, depending on whether or not you do the double tighten or not, we know that they are a source of leak and possible ingress. We know for a fact that the crimp tops, if done properly, are oxygen scavenging, which means next to fuck all as soon as you get liquid on the top of the cap. However, we know for certain that they are oxygen scavenging caps. So the bottom line is, when you look at the scientific process, a glass bottle with an oxygen scavenging top if filled from an iTap, is going to be the superior option compared to everything else. We know this.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
So you can
Definitely.
sit there and you can talk about it as much as you want. How much oxygen is going to get into a beer mail if it's put in a PET bottle? Just a sec, Andy. If we put it into a PET bottle and we double tighten the lid, and then we send it out and that person drinks it in 3 days, compared to if somebody sends out a glass bottle with an oxygen scavenging lid which they've allowed to sit for an hour before they've packaged it, what's the difference in oxygen between those two? Because it's oxygen that's the killer. It's not fucking nitrogen. It's not CO2. It's not any of
It's
the
just
fucking...
how
it's
do
not
we-
any of the noble gases. It's fucking oxygen.
How
So if
do we get the pet? Because see, is it the one with the metal bit at the bottom, Tricky? It's got like a
Yeah.
aye.
To be fair though, I think it's very dependent on the style you're bottling, because you know Andy's sent this lime lager in a PET bowl.
Yeah, it didn't go.
And
That was absolutely
it's absolutely A1. This Blackberry Ghost was great. You know,
Yeah.
so, but whereas as soon as you put like a hazy hoppy style into a PET bottle, it seems to be like it has like a 48-hour lifespan before it starts to degrade.
What is that?
It's just a bit like confusing because I mean I after you mentioned the competition, I've just literally brought up a picture of the judging table from the final round, and most of them are plastic bottles. Like there's probably
Of course, because it's easier. It's
Well,
you know
no,
it's
I
not
mean,
going to break in shipping. No,
the
but that's the
majority
thing.
would have been sent in that format, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's not like there was all of those were written off because they were awful. But yeah, how many glass bottles did we get in total anyway? I don't know. That's I guess the more important question.
I would say people that are using glass are going to be more traditional in their brewing. Yeah, and they're going to be like, oh, I reuse my glass bottles, and it's because I bottle condition. You know, or just that they like glass maybe. But
I think I'm just going to have to do a video on this and
I think Andy, you said
bottle
it
that
earlier,
Pathfinder
right?
beer into
It's like
glass and
you've
pet
just
and
got-
shake
you've
the
just
fuck
got-
out of them for 2 weeks. And
Do
then
a
see what
Dr.
happens.
Hans.
Triangle
Yeah.
test it, right? Or like,
Surely he
or-
must
or-
have done that already. Has he not?
no,
done
he's
that?
not. He's not.
Has he not just done a
no.
straight up like glass?
He
versus
did.
pet
He
at the
did
same
three.
time?
He did three scooshes versus one scoosh.
Yeah. But was that all in plastic or was that
Yeah,
like glass?
yeah, it was
bottles?
all
What's the,
plastic.
what's
Right,
the
okay.
scoosh?
Like scoosh of CO2. Remember
But
you go.
he has like a separate soda stream set up where he can like purge with that as well as the iTap, doesn't he? So he's got like extra things going on. But yeah. I mean,
Good
fuck,
old
that's not
Dr.
even a
Hans.
difficult experiment to do. I could just go and do that like now in 10 minutes and just like.
Well,
By
that's
the
it.
way,
Like, all
why-
you got to
Just
do,
go
like, give it a week. Give it a week. It's only good.
Yeah.
Even 4 or 5 days. Just bottle a beer in 2 bottles in glass, right? 1 straight in the fridge, 1
Yeah.
left at room temp. 2 in PET.
Well, the
same
keg's the control
conditions.
sample as well because you've got
Right,
that.
and then
right
the
there.
keg. So you got 5 beers compared to each other, and just see the difference. And it would be interesting then to do that as 2 groups in terms
I
of
need to
one
write
being
this down.
one being like one being a lager, and the
Yeah.
other being like a hazy hoppy style.
Can
And
I
just
still
then
buy stuff
compare.
from Russia?
And I bet you.
Yeah,
yes,
there's
you
no-
can.
there's
If
no
you, if you have
actual,
no morals, Andy, then go ahead.
There's no actual trade embargo.
Fucking give me the glass bottle, fella.
Hey, you got a YouTube channel? Just contact them on email and tell them you'll feature it on a video. You'll be fine.
No morals. I know,
Absolutely
but
zero
they're lovely
morals.
people. They're lovely people at Bull.
They are. I mean, like
35.
not wanting to get too political, but like boycotting a tiny little company like that is not gonna fucking make any difference to
It's a wee
anyone.
shame. Hey, by the way,
know
it's
what I mean?
€35. Forget it.
It's like, no.
No, yeah, no.
That's absurd, right? Just for a little plastic widget with a bit of metal on it.
Yeah.
It's like,
You
how
must.
is that
There must be an
35
easy way
euros?
to adapt the pet version.
Do you know what I
Put a
should do?
little
Just
plate
keep
on
an
the
eye out
bottom.
on eBay.
Might work.
somebody with better morals who's selling theirs off.
I really
Can't bear
I
to look at
really
this
need-
anymore.
Or someone with a 3D printer.
Gentlemen.
If you could design one and
Oh.
then 3D printer, it would be great.
I think that what we need to do is to avoid any political statements at this point. We need to consider winding this particular podcast up.
Oh, well, before we do that, I need to say to Big Banana, that's a very nice
Oh, the New
build,
Zealand
that.
Pals, yeah,
That's
that's
fucking lovely.
good. It's
Ju-
a lot.
I mean,
You're putting a lot of Nelson in that.
Yeah,
Sure.
I'm definitely getting the Nelson grapey gooseberry.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah. He
I
used
mean,
a lot.
literally, the only thing I would say as feedback is it maybe does need a little bit more carbonation just to push that aroma and flavour out the glass a little bit. But other than that, it's spot on. Lovely. Clean beer. Very nice. Loads of Nelson flavour. Beautiful. Thank you very
Beautiful.
much, Stephen. Sorry, Chris, you were wrapping up the podcast.
There you go. Yeah. Go ahead, Chris.
He's
Sorry.
currently texting the wife going, sorry,
10 minutes.
you'll have to warm yourself
T-
up.
10 minutes to bed.
If only it was that simple.
minutes to
No,
bed.
basically, but one of the kids is not doing too well, so I need to get in there. Yeah. No, genuinely. I think to avoid any kind of political bollocks, we need to.
Oh no, it's bullshit. Yeah, it's.
We need to just wrap this one up because this is moving rapidly towards something that we don't want to be on this pod.
No, it's obviously the whole situation is absolute garbage, Chris.
It is.
so
It's fucking bollocks.
Yeah.
And to be fair, there's a lot of people on both sides, both Russia
That-
and Ukraine, who are both struggling, who are both suffering.
Lovely people, and there's
And-
governments that are just absolute knobs.
I mean, let's just leave it at that, shall we, Andy?
Yeah,
Let's just leave it at that. I think I have enjoyed
Peace.
every single beer I've had tonight. I've enjoyed every single one. Andy, make some more of that pear and blackberry goes. Keep it exactly as it is and just send me half keg. That lime lager, I want the recipe for, and we need to get duration on again. That's all
Yeah.
I'm saying.
well, that'd be nice.
I think
Get a recipe.
I think we've proven the technology. I think the technology has definitely worked.
Oh, it's so much better.
But can I just say to everybody who's currently inside this podcast, when I click end broadcast, please don't leave until sometimes your audio is uploaded. Otherwise, everything's going to shit the bed. Thank you very much for listening to the Hop Edition tonight, guys. Thanks to Brewkeg Tap, our sponsors. Massive thanks to all of our Patreons, every single one of you. You've made this possible. And we hope that the quality of the live stream has improved. Tricky's going to tell us whether or not the quality of the audio is where we need it to be.
If it hasn't, there won't be an audio version of it going up. We'll see.
Yeah, and also we'll all be using Audacity in the future as well as this.
Still.
But I think we've all enjoyed our beers. Is that safe to say?
Great beers. All the way
Absolutely
through.
fantastic. Thanks, Tricky, for sending some absolute bangers through tonight.
Well, thanks, Andy, for your.
Yeah, you too, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely,
yeah.
Andy. That was some really, really good beer. I
great
really
beers.
wanted to slate that pear and blackberry goes.
So good.
I did. I wanted to slag it off so bad.
Nah.
Just like last episode, I wanted to slag off Tricky Smells Lagery, and I couldn't
Nah, it's
find
a-
a single
yeah, it's
fucking
great.
flaw with it.
Yeah. Oh,
So, thanks for listening, guys. And, our live stream is going to be going from strength to strength moving forward, and it's all because of all of our Patreons. So,
thank
thanks
you.
very much. And we will catch you all on the flip side.
See ya.
Cheers, everybody.
Bye.
See you
Bye.
soon.